Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with the Simpler Stocks free video for April 21st, 2016. It's about 7 minutes before the bell. Today was right according to plan. We talked about this in the Simpler Stocks premium chat. The chat now is from 9 a.m. to 10 Eastern. So that includes the first half hour of the opening. So what we were talking in there is, as you see in here, the ES is up 325, very muted. NASDAQ up 775, Russell up 250. Bonds down at 1.5, gold down 7. Why is that? What we talked about in the chat. Grains. The grains are influencing here. Now you might ask, what on earth do the grains have to do with Simpler Stocks? Number one, bonds. If grains go up, it could start affect inflation. Long-term bonds hate inflation. That's number one. Number two, strong grains could mean the Fed has to raise, means a strong dollar, means gold goes down. Watch what happened today. The higher the grains went. Now I'm going to put the grains on the right if I can get them to work. The higher the grains went, look on the left and look at the dollar $/DX. And watch what happened in 5 minutes in here, what happened here. The higher this went, the higher DX went. Higher DX went, now take corn off the right and put gold up there. Higher DX went, the lower gold went. Amazing the interrelationships between this. If you were buying some crazy thing like NUGT, which is a 3 times ETF, buying gold stocks, check out what happened. This was an accident waiting to happen when you saw the dollar rallying and rallying all day, and finally it just fell apart, going down 11 points in basically about 15 minutes. So amazing on how the grains can affect everything. Let me go and show you this again. Here's corn on the right. Now we'll look at bonds on the left. Check that out. Very interesting in here. Another thing you need to see, even put it on a 15-minute. Check this out. The second this really started to pop Wednesday morning, see on how it opened, went a little down, corn, and look what happened. The bonds went a little up. The second that reversed, this fell apart on the left, this went nuts. What do I think now? Number one, I think when you see a rally in corn like this, that's why you saw Deere go up. I just did a blog that goes on the Simpler Stocks, Simpler Options /blog, where I was showing that if corn goes up, usually Deere goes up. Now the whole thing is it doesn't go up perfect, but when corn got hammered back here, and let me put this on a 78 so you can see both of them. And we're going to take off the futures on the left. We already know what they're doing. Right here, when you go back in here, and this is when the crop report came out, when Beeks came out with a crop report, and you see corn getting crushed right there. Look what Deere did on the right when that crop report came out. Got crushed. Corn comes back, starts coming back. Deere doesn't really come back much. Now watch what happens. Not only does corn come back, but it gets above when the crop report came out. On the other hand, Deere is still down here, wallowing around 78. Next thing is look on the left and look at corn. Really going nuts. New high for the year. Deere is still here. There's a certain breaking point where now you got to load up on Deere. This is what we show on the premium side. Check that out. Went up 6 points in one day. Unbelievable how that happened. So just something to keep in mind in there. Just nice explosion just out of nowhere. So, you know, the whole idea is if this was the thing making Deere go down on the left and then that stimulus changes, then once this momentum starts to turn, it can finally start going up. And that's exactly what happened. Very exciting to see that move in there. So where does that put us right now? Puts us the ESs now right at resistance, and now you got a whiff of inflation in there. Obviously, the way the market's been going, you're probably going to have the grains down limit tomorrow, have bonds up again, and then all of this worry is going to be away. All I know in here is you're at resistance. You get little stimuli like the bond market getting hit, and that can start affecting these things. Big thing I'm going to be watching tomorrow again, after the close, Google's earnings. This is how I look at this. Look at a 78-minute chart, and I know I showed this earlier today. This is when I use the 200 moving average, and I'm trying to teach all our subscribers this. Not as a cut and dry of support and resistance, of relative where two correlated indexes are diverging. Look how close the index on the right is to the moving average. Look how far away the ES is from that moving average. If this NQ starts to fall apart again, these ESs could get down to there. That's the type of stuff we're trying to teach. Couple of other things I wanted to mention in here is on the simpler option side, the simpler stock side, we have in here, and let me go to home so you know what when you log in, what you look at. You're looking at this. You have chart ideas, premium videos. Tonight we have a meetup. Tonight I'm going to talk about 3 ways to trade the same setup. So like today, I was bullish on Tesla. You could buy a call spread. You could buy a butterfly. You could sell a put spread. I actually have real time 3 different things on how they work, how to set them up, what they were trading at, what Tesla ended up doing, and what those trades look like later in the day. Very interesting stuff. So I hope to show that tonight. Other thing in here that this shows, we have the chat room. Like you know, goes from 9 to 10 in the morning right now. Other thing is chart ideas. The reason I'm showing this is the unusual option activity. A lot of these have been working amazing. I don't show 100 different trades like other sites do that charge some of them $400 a month. I show the ones that seem to be working. Now, what do I mean in there? See this? Watching the puts in checkpoint systems right here. This was the only one I showed last night. Showed this unusual put activity in checkpoint. Check out what the checkpoint did today. That's what I'm talking about right there. Let me put this on a two different charts so you can see it. There you go. 15, 5 minute, one time today, down $7. Those are the type of things I'd like to show. If you go back in there, you'll see I showed unusual activity in SXL. A lot of people got in this, believe it or not, at 23.80. The stock is now 29.36. Gone up basically 25% since we mentioned it. You don't believe me on this? Let me just show you. I'm going to go back in here to show you. Chart ideas, unusual options activity. Go in here, see the unusual options activity? Now go back in here, and I want you to see this, and go back to SXL right here. 4-6 at 1:20 p.m. Unusual call activity in SXL. That's on 4-6. Let's go to 4-6 and see where SXL was. I'm going to put it on a 195 chart just so you could get an idea. If I can get it to work. But if you go in here, here you go, 4-6. Right here where I posted it, the stock right there was 24.03 the next morning. It's now 29.36. Those are the type of things you get included in your subscription. So not only are you getting the chat room, and chart ideas and the live chat and the video at night, but I throw in some unusual option activities when I see it. My whole idea is I like when there's option activity in the direction of the chart pattern. The chart pattern looked good anyway. So even if the call activity didn't pan out, you had a good looking chart. That's what we're trying to teach in there. So I hope you can take advantage of our $7 30-day trial. That will include the seminar tonight, where we talk about 3 different ways to trade the same direction of a stock. So I hope you can join us. Everybody take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow.